everyone, it's Lo from Custom Creations by Lo. Good news, I'm up in my craft room. So excited. I found that, sorry I'm trying to adjust this camera, found some smaller bottles of resin that I could actually do. I've already mixed 8 ounces up of my Bond Crafter 1-to-1 resin, part A, part B, be in your hardener. I did 4 minutes in my little electronic mixer by Litz Resin, as you can see, and it is a rechargeable. So I did 4 minutes on that. I'm letting it sit here because I want to do this rose flower. It's one of the flower molds I received from my brother for Christmas. So I want to do it, and I'm going to brush it in this candy apple blossom from laurasartcorner.net. And I'm also going to do the cross mold that I made. This was made from this little cross. I bought it at Dollar General and decided to make a mold of it. So we're going to do that. Now, the cross will be a matte because obviously it's not shiny, but I think it'll do well. And I'm pretty sure that this flower mold is also going to be matte because it's not made for resin. I think it's made for chocolate or, candy, whatever. And that's fine. That's why we're going to do this Candy Apple Blossom by Laura's Art Corner, because it does have a nice sheen to it. So I did not record me making the, or mixing up the resin. You've seen it a million times, and since this is my first real video since my back surgery, I thought, well, you know what, we'll do it as it can. So I'm going to find a brush so I can mix, brush this powder on. And then we will, excuse me, get to that. I'm going to let it sit here and degas on its own, just because it is Bond Crafter. It does degas on its own very well. So let me just find a brush here I think will be suitable without making a huge disaster. I hope everybody had a wonderful New Year's Eve celebration. Happy New Year's to everybody out there. I hope you all stayed safe and didn't overdo it. And if you did, I hope you had the day off. So, yeah. All right, let's see. This one looks pretty good. So let's get that open. Y'all, is that not just gorgeous? Just gorgeous. There's enough on the lid. We should be able to do it with that. As you can see, plenty on that lid. Yeah, that's going to be really, really pretty. So again, I just want to thank everybody for their prayers and their love and reaching out to me while I've been recovering from my surgery. Everything seems to be healing well. So I'm grateful for that. I actually drove myself to a doctor's appointment yesterday and made it safely, thankfully. And tomorrow I get, which is January 2nd, I will get to spend the day with 2 of my wonderful best friends, Miss Sheila and Chastity. I don't get to see Miss Sheila as often as I'd love to. Her and I have been friends for 16 years. I think it is now, 16, 17 years. And she's retired, but she doesn't live real close to me. So I don't get to see her as often as I would like to. And Miss Chastity, I met 3 years ago, and she and I hit it off really, really well. And she lives a little closer than Sheila. I wish we all lived close to each other because the three of us are a lot alike. And tomorrow, January 2nd, will be the first time they will get to meet each other in person. So I'm super excited about that. Super, super excited that my two best friends are going to actually get to meet each other. And rather than just hear me talking to one or the other about each of them. So I'm looking forward to that tomorrow. All right, so we got that painted. Isn't that pretty? Hopefully that'll give it a sheen. Let's see if we need to tap anything out. That looks pretty good. I'm going to clean our brush here with this little brush color removal sponge. Now, I'm thinking about, if I can get it open, about making some of these myself. Maybe try to sell them. I don't know. You know, the cost is cheap. And I know that Tammy from Epoxy Me That has made some. And so I want to give her credit for that and giving me an idea about that. Because I think, you know, if you could get them in something other than, you know, just a can that's kind of plain, it'd be great. So we'll see. That's something that's in the future. All right, so we got that brushed up. We are going to put our brush there. And we are going to, let me wipe this off because I do need, I want to make sure this paddle is clean. I don't want to make the mistake that I had before my surgery, and that was to leave anything not cleaned off because, my goodness, that was a mess. And it frustrated me. It upset me to, you know, finally make it back upstairs and realize that I had left things in such a disarray at my crafting desk. I don't want to do that again. I don't like dirty molds. I don't like, you know, dirty areas on my desk, that kind of thing. Yes, my craft room is a disaster in itself because I've got so much stuff that needs to be organized, but having, you know, resin left and stuff and it sitting around just, it did not do well with me. So we're going to, I got the paddle off. I'm going to let this set here and demold for a few minutes. While it does that, I'm not going to make you watch it. So I'll come back when it is done. I may even put it in the bubble remover. We'll see. Hang on. Be back. Okay, everyone. I did actually put the resin into the debubbler. This cup cracked. I don't know why, but it did. I know there's going to be, this is not going to be as clear as I want it to be, but that's fine because, again, this is just, you know, first video back from surgery, and it's kind of a test with the mold that I made and one of these flowers that I received as a gift. So, as you can see, I did paint it with the Candy Apple Blossom, which is from laursartcorner.net. Oh, it's beautiful. So I'm going to pour some resin in it. We'll do the cross. I think I'm going to do it with some Eye Candy Satori White because it's white. And then once it's cured, I can color in everything. So that's the plan right now. So I am going to go ahead and first, I guess I'm going to pour the rose first just because this cup is leaking. And I'm going to need that probably for the cross. I feel so out of practice here, and it's only been 3 weeks, you know. I'm also going to do this mold. I made this mold. This is the one, it's kind of like the back bezel of this right here, just to see if it works. I mean, I poured the mold this piece goes into it. Not 100% happy with this, but we'll see how it goes as far as, you know, any leftovers. So, let me spray this with some 99% alcohol. I'm not going to spray the mold because I've already painted it. So, we'll just see. And yes, it is very, it's cooler up here. But like I said, this is just a test and, you know, kind of thing. So I'm not expecting perfection on this. And if we have leftovers, we'll find something to do with them. But we'll see. So let's go ahead and get this poured. We'll need to squish it a little bit just because of those petals that's in there. This is a very, very flexible mold. And again, my brother bought me a couple sets of these flowers. I know, as you can see, the bubbles coming out. They are matte molds just because they were not made for resin. But we're going to love them all the less, or nonetheless, rather. And kind of go from there. I am going to take my dotting tool here and just go under this lip that's right there. I'm going to do it gently just because, you know, we did paint this. While I'm doing this, again, I know on my last video, which was super short, I wanted to say a big thank you to all of the subscribers. Welcome to all you new. Y'all blow me away. I'm just so excited. Every time I see the number, you know, increase, it just makes my heart sing. So thank you for taking time out of your busy day and watching my videos. I hope you enjoy them. This right here underneath my silicone mat is my heat mat. I did move it from where it used to be over to here. So that way I wasn't, you know, moving as much. So let's get our little lighter here. We're going to pop these bubbles. And then we'll finish filling it and move it out of our way. And I know I'm going to need a few popsicle sticks because this setup that I have right now is not 100% level. We're going to move that up there. And we will put our stick underneath the paper towel there. And we'll finish filling that up. All right. We'll leave that set there for just a second, and then we will spray it again. And I probably got a little bit much in there. Let's put it like that. But you can see the bubbles. And again, I'm not worried about it right now, just because, again, you know, it's a test piece kind of thing. So now, this eye candy paste, a lot of their products, the paste wise, you know, they do separate. Not a bad thing. Not a bad thing. But the white really isn't too bad, as you can see. But I am going to stir it nonetheless. You can see how thick that is. And with eye candy paste, you don't have to use a lot. They're very, very, very pigmented. I mean, seriously. You can see how thick that is right there. It is super, super thick. So once I scrape off my little silicone stick here as much as I want, I'll still probably, once I get the color in the resin, I will probably wipe it off just because you don't need that much. As you can see, I've got that much on my stick. And we're going to put it in here. So watch this magic happen. Get that off my finger. And like I said, you can see that's not a lot. Not a lot at all. I'm going to go ahead and put the lid on because I can sometimes be clumsy. And I don't want to, you know, I don't want to take a chance. There we go. All right, let me get that off my fingers here. And you'll see here in just a second how pigmented this is. Yo, I managed to get this stuff all over me. Don't know how, but I sure enough did. Anyway, let's go ahead and get that mixed up before it drops onto my mat. And here comes this magic. Now this will not be, I mean, with just that little bit, it's not going to be like skim milk. I can guarantee you that. It's going to be a very good white. See how it's doing already? And like I said, that was just that little bit on that stick. So if you want a good paste, use eye candy. I mean, look at that. That is just that little bit that was on that stick. Now you do want to, of course, mix your sides really good and scrape them down because that paste will get on the sides of your cup. And you don't want that in your, you know, unmixed paste in your pour because then you're going to take a chance on it not curing properly or being streaky. But look at that. That was all that was on that stick. And it's a very thorough, deep white. And the other thing is, you know, if you're using a mixer, electronic mixer or whatever, other than the hand mixer, even if it's one of those really nice super stand mixers, you do want to make sure you scrape your bottoms and your side because you will have unmixed resin. That can also cause you curing problems. But look, seriously, y'all saw how little paste that was. And I know I'm mixing bubbles into it probably, but that's okay. Like I said, this for me is a regroup resin pour. I had lower back surgery, in case some of you hadn't seen my earlier videos where I said that I was having that. That's okay. But, wow. I'm really super impressed with that. So what I'm going to do now, as you can see, there's still a lot of white in there. I'm going to take a wipe right here, scrape that off, and clear, clean it. Because once you do that, if you use the same stick, then, you're going to risk the chance of unmixed stuff. Or you can just clean it and use another stick or spatula, which is what I'm going to do so I can get all that off the side. Because again, you don't want to take a chance of having unmixed paste in there. And that is a very nice white that we got there. Nice deep opaque. Look at that. And that was very little paste. All right. I'm going to set this here on that paper towel. And we are going to grab our mold. That's it. This is the one I made. This was the master. And once it's cured, I will take a marker and color in everything that needs to be colored in. So let's get this on a paper towel as well. I don't want it to mess up with my mat. Matter of fact, let's do this. We're going to take that. And we're going to move this down for right now, just so it can sit on that paper towel, and we can move it once it's done. Because we are definitely going to have some resin left over, which was my plan. Oh, it's my plan. I actually have a plan. What do y'all think about that? All right. This other cup is sitting over here degassing really well. And, all right. Let me give this a little bit of a spritz with 99% alcohol. And let's get this poured in. I'm just going to go low, high, and low. And slow. Low. Huh. Slow, low. It feels really good to be back up here in my craft room. I've been so bored. My husband has been great through all this, y'all. He has, waited on me hand and foot, literally. Refreshes my water with, ice and water, bringing me my dinner, helping me with whatever I need. So, kudos to my husband. We've been married 43 years, and he's been awesome. 100% awesome. All right, so we're going to stop right there just for a second. And I do want to take my resin tool here and just kind of scrape off where, I kind of overdid it. And get it in there. And as you know, with any hand poured or hand, made mold, you don't want to dome it. All right, let's go ahead and get this moved where it needs to be, and then we'll finish pouring it. I'm going to go ahead and put another stick underneath that just because. Now we're going to put it underneath there. There we go. And we'll finish pouring this. Whoopsie daisy. Remember what I just said about doming? Well, apparently I didn't listen to myself. We're going to take some of that out just because I know that's going to be a bit much. Just a little bit more out of there and we'll be good. I know I said this before, but man, it feels really, really good to be back up here in my craft room, making something, creating something. And like I said, so far my staple removal went well. The scar is healing up well. And thank you, Lord Jesus. I did have some issues, you know, when I was after the surgery with blood pressure and heart rate being way too low. But you know what? I'm here. I'm thankful. And I'm healing. So thank you to the surgeon's hands, Dr. Roy in Salisbury. He's a top-notch surgeon. He's won awards. He's actually the one that did my neck surgery back in March this past year. It sounds crazy to say this past year when it was just last month. But yeah, all right. So we got plenty of leftover resin with the white. So what we're going to do is, I'm not sure about this one yet. We're going to leave that like that. I think I'm going to put another one on it because the bottom looks a little heavier than the top. I just want to make sure it's good. There we go. Now, a friend of mine, Chastity, y'all have met her once before. She has these wonderful little molds. They're, I guess, like a planter mold or something. And she had brought me two that she had made. Let me show you those. Aren't those the cutest? Super, super cute. Little, I said you could use them as like little planters or even like a hard-boiled egg holder. And she had brought them so I could make molds, you know, castings out of them, mold castings. However, they had a few little microscopic bubbles and stuff and, you know, one or two other little issues. So, being she's super, super sweet, she brought me the molds themselves. So, I can make my own casting, and then hopefully I will do well, and I can make molds out of them. So, this is what we're going to do with our leftover resin today. I'm going to make one. I don't know that we'll have enough resin to make both of them, but we are going to see how it goes. So, I think I'm going to make this one with her finger up to her lips going, shh. And if we have more resin, or if I mix up more, we'll do this one. I'm not going to do it in white. I'm going to add some color to the leftover white resin. And I think Tiffi blue would be great in these, or, you know, that kind of color. Now, what I am going to do is take some 99% alcohol and spray down in there really well. And I'm going to just kind of rub it together just so it gets in those areas where there was bubbles. Let me get the color I want. Now, the Tiffi blue is another eye candy paste. Y'all can see that. It's beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. We will have to mix it up. As you can see, it does separate just a little. Not crazy, but it does separate a little bit. So we're going to stir that up. And then we're going to mix it in with the leftover white that we have here. And then we'll use the clear that we had sitting over here. Let me get this stirred up. And again, it will not take much. You can see how thick that is. And you will see how little I have to use to get the color we want. Isn't that pretty? Eye candy paste. I love eye candy. Number one, they're veteran owned. And I love that because I myself, if some of you haven't watched all my videos, I am a veteran. I was in the Marine Corps. My husband was Navy. My son was Navy. My oldest daughter was Army. So yeah. So I'm going to use about that much in this leftover. And we'll just mix it in and see where we get. We may or may not need to add more. Just depends on how deep we want the color. But look at that. Y'all saw how much I used. Not a whole lot. And that's a beautiful color. Oh my goodness. I do want a little bit deeper. I am going to scrape my sides like that. Oh goodness, my nose is itching. Scrape it down or rub it down, whatever it may be. Look at that. I'm also thinking I'm going to add a little bit of some Aurora to this because I think that would be really, really, really pretty. What do y'all think? Let me find what I want to use. Alright. Now these I had bought off Temu. I have no idea what color each one of them is. But this one has like, if you look at it from the side, it's got some goldish to it. Just a hint of green. I don't think this is the one I want to use. Let's see. I think we may use this one. This one's got a tint of that bluish green to it. Let's go ahead and add some and see what that does. Get me one of my little bitty spoons, which I love, if I can find them. There it is. These things are so cute. Let's do like a full one. See that sparkle? Gorgeous, gorgeous. And I'm going to get a bigger stick because I'm making a mess with this one. Hang on, folks. I said I'm cleaning everything off because coming up here the other day with my desk being a disarray and all that mess, that was just so disheartening. I don't want to do that again. Do not want to do that again. All right, we'll get a bigger stick. Got that cleaned off. That stick I got from Laura's Art Corner as well as a little freebie, which was wonderful. Spatula. So I'm going to use my spatula here to kind of mix that up. Scrape the sides here. That's going to be pretty. Look at that. It gives it just enough of a sparkle. So now we're going to go ahead and add in some of this clear. So I know we're not going to have enough to do the, or both of the molds. I'm going to scrape this cup out good. And then we're going to trash it because, like I said, it kind of cracked in the debubbler. And see right there's a crack. so it's not able to be used anymore. Whoopsie daisy. I did clean out my debubbler, so I did not want that resin to cure in there. All right. And like I said, this may be able to fill just this one. The resin is getting warm, so we will need to kind of get a move on it, you know. All right, got that cleaned up. Okay. We'll probably have to spray this mold again just because it has been sitting here a little bit. I'm going to add just a little bit more of this eye candy paste. I want it just a little bit deeper color. And we'll more than likely add a little bit more of that Aurora. Get that there. Cover. Close this eye candy. Here we go. Toss that cup. Goodbye. And get this. Okay. Yeah, it's getting warm. Hopefully this will fill at least one of these molds. Otherwise, we're going to have to mix up some more, maybe tomorrow or the next day, and fill it up, and then do the other mold as well. But I think that's going to be very pretty. Can't really see that Aurora in there, but you know what? Let's do this. I'm going to just add this because there's not much left of it. Just a little bit extra fine glitter. Save that little jar because I definitely can use that again. Just to give a little bit of extra sparkle in there, right? Really can't see it, so it's okay. All right, so let's get this poured. Do it a dab more of some alcohol ink. Let's see what we get. Get it poured. let's go ahead before I do that. And get a few sticks. So I think we're going to need them. There we go. We'll pour it first and then see how it goes. All right. Yeah, it's resin's getting really warm. All right. I'm gonna stop right there so we can squeeze. Oops. Squeeze it. All right. Definitely gonna need, yep, there we go. I know this is probably not gonna work, but you know, we'll just see. I know what I need to do when I pour it again, because this is just too shallow. All right, let me see if I can find something small to put the rest of that in. I'm going to try to move this without spilling it. All right. Let me find a little mood. I think we're going to do this rose. This was part of the set that I was gifted from my bro. Thank you, Robert. I'm not going to, paint it or anything. I'm just putting some 99% alcohol in there. Just, it'll be matte, but that's fine because we can always take a marker to it and see if we can get the rest of this out. Because like I said, it is getting a little thick, as you can see. Way thick. Yeah, this cup's going in the trash because I can tell right now I'm not going to want to try to even clean it. Because this has gotten so, as you can see, it's super thick. And that's what happens when you put, some stuff in the debubbler with different colorants and stuff. And to be quite honest, I was moving a little slower than normal. But like I said, it's my recoup video, so yeah, not saving this cup. Did I make a mess? Yes, I did. But, oh my gosh. Today, doing this, even with the mess ups I'm having, so much better than just sitting in the bed trying to recover from the surgery. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I have been bored out of my skull. Just seriously, so bored. All right, so we're going to clean this up. I'm not going to leave this particular mold. again on my mat because I don't want it ruining it. And it's very, I mean, these are molds that were bought for me. And when I opened them and set them in, they were very sticky. As you can, I mean, there's nothing here, but just setting them on my silicone mat, I would not have left them there because they're so super sticky. So let's get all this, my hands cleaned up and everything here. And I will see you all when it's time to demold. So again, I hope you had a happy Thanksgiving. Happy New Year. I pray that you will be prosperous, healthy, and happy, you and all of your family, for 2026. And I will see you back when it's time to demold all this. Thank you, my friends. Hey everyone, it's Lo from Custom Creations. I'm back here to demold the items that we poured earlier. I did go ahead, and don't be mad at me please, and demold the 2 flowers that we did. That was the one we did with the candy apple from laurasartcorner.net. And this is the one we did in the Tiffi blue from Eye Candy Paste. And they turn out really good. Don't have any, just 1 or 2 little bubbles, you know, here. But this was, you know, test piece. So I don't know if I'll do anything with them or not. Probably just make a magnet. And this one, it turned out about perfect. I mean, there are no bubbles on this one whatsoever. The color did make it shiny, even though it's a matte mold. And I'll probably make a magnet out of this one as well. I may touch the edges up with the marker, just, you know, to kind of bring it out a little bit, but we'll see. This little bezel mold, as I suspected, it did not turn out. I didn't think it would. It's just too shallow. I did demold it, and you can see, I mean, it kind of worked, but the little eyepiece here tore, a little side here tore. It's just really fragile. I mean, you could put, you know, the piece in there, but would I trust it to be long term? Absolutely not. As you can see there, it does fit and everything, but would have to make it deeper so that it will be not as flimsy. Alright, so this is going in the bin. It's, as you can see how fragile it is. It just, I mean, this has been a day or 2 after I poured it, but it's just super thin. And what I'll do with this mold is I will use it as a stopper, you know, if I'm making like a candle holder or something like that. And I can put it in as a stopper. So no waste there. All right. So the next piece we are going to demold is going to be the cross mold that I made from this. So we will see how it goes, how it did. I did go ahead and clean this backside with some tape just to get off that extra. Okay, mold did good, from what I can see. Let's turn it around and see what it looks like. This is the back. Got a little bit of trimming to do. But you can see everything. You can see the words and the flowers and the bee. Do have some micro bubbles, but I think, let me look at this original, the master. Yeah, that there's nothing I can do about it. I mean, I could probably smooth it out with some UV resin, but the master itself has those, you know, that rough edge there. So But yeah, it turned out really, really well. I'm pleased with that overall. Like I said, a little bit of trimming to do, no biggie. So that's the cross. And if y'all, hopefully y'all can see that everything's under, the words and everything, the text. All right, now our little pottery girl or plant. I know that I've got micro bubbles. I can already see them. I think it was just too cold upstairs here to probably, try to get all those bubbles out. But, we'll see. Now, I don't know how difficult this is to demold. May have to spritz some alcohol down on there. And that's just 91% isopropyl alcohol. I don't know why I can't say that word better. Let's see if we can get it squished around in there. There we go, getting it released. Now, I did squeeze and squeeze this one, before I completely filled it up. But I don't think that worked. Sorry if I'm off camera for a second. Just bring a little more alcohol in there, down the front. There we go. Starting to release now. Perfect. All right, so we broke the, what do you call it? Broke the hole. So now let's see if we can get her out. I gotta hold her against me, y'all. I'm sorry. She's got a big head. I don't know if I broke that suction there from the center or not. I don't think that's the problem, is I did not get that broken. I'm going to do a little more alcohol in there. See if we can get it to roll down. That suction broke loose. My wrist has been giving me a fit here this past week. Trying not to go off camera, y'all, but I just can't get my fingers to. There we go. Whoo! When she came out, she really popped out, didn't she? Get the mold straightened back up. All right, so you can see she is shiny. I love this color, but man, has she got a lot of micro bubbles on her. Y'all can see all those. It's not going to hurt anything as far as the usage of it. I'm not going to be selling this piece, obviously. A little trimming here in the bottom, but I'm going to pour her again on the other one. I'm just going to make sure that my resin is warmed up properly. Y'all can see all those. It's not very, very good. I'm going to take a marker, maybe color her little dress outline here, and maybe put some color on flowers. I don't know. I may just leave her like that. What do y'all think? Very, very pretty, minus the Those micro bubbles. Yeah, it was just too cold for those bubbles to be able to rise up out of there. That's my own fault. I should have warmed the resin up first. So I am going to figure out if I want to do anything with these pieces. And I'll bring you back once I've decided. So hold tight. Okay, everyone. So I got out some markers, and I have a gold and a silver chrome marker out by Its Resin that I think I'm going to do. I was thinking about doing the gold on this red and the silver on this, but now that I'm thinking about it, I think I'm going to change that and put the opposite. Let's try and see. We'll try one to see what happens with it. Okay, let's just see. We're just going to do the edges of it. Oops, sorry. I don't know if y'all could see that or not. Just going to kind of go like this on it. Doesn't that be perfect? I'll clean that up when I finish coloring. It's never, you know, no need in stopping now, because I'll have more cleanup to do once it's all done. I can take either a micro brush or Q-tip or pointy stick swab to clean up where I get and I don't need to, like here in the petals. I bought these Its Resin chrome markers, and I have to tell you, I've not been overly impressed with them. They just, I don't know, they sometimes don't seem to work like they should. I've had, even when I first bought them, the tips came out, couldn't use them. So I don't know if they've improved them or not. I bought these last year, but like I said, I've not been 100% happy with these at all. Anybody else knows there's some really good chrome markers that work and last, please let me know in the comments, because so far, like I said, I've not been overly impressed. So while I'm doing this, just want to say, I know that I said in the earlier part of this video that I was going to have a day out with my friends, and we had an awesome time. We really did. My two peoples got to meet each other, and they loved each other just like I knew they would, because we three are all so much alike. And we got to have some fun, you know, joke around and all that good stuff. Got to have some good margaritas and some good Mexican food. So it was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. I'm so thankful that I got to do that yesterday. Now, with that being said, was my back hurting from all of the walking that we did? Yes, it was. And when I got home, I immediately took my brace off and kind of stretched out on the bed so my back could stretch out without the brace for a while. And then we had dinner. We don't usually eat till like 7 or so, my husband and I. So after dinner, I sat on the bed. I took, I don't know, I think I took a muscle relaxer. And at 9 o'clock, I was covered up, ready to snooze. And actually, it was before 9. It was more like 8 o'clock, if I'm honest. And my husband came in and he's like, "You're in bed already?" I'm like, "Yeah, you know, back is kind of hurting, so forth, so on." And he's like, "Well, you know, you're probably going to be up early in the morning." Well, I ended up waking up at 10:30 p.m. Dozed back off, woke back up at 1:30 a.m. Went back to sleep. And then at 5:30 this morning, I was awake, and I made myself stay in the bed and sleep. And finally got up at 7:20 this morning. So, yeah, I paid the price for it, but I would not have given it up for anything because, again, we had so much fun. And it was great for them to finally meet each other. And, you know, that kind of thing. So, it was good. It was really good. Yeah, I'm going to have a lot of cleanup in this on, you know. I don't know if I will or not. Like I said, it's just going to be like a little magnet or something that I'll probably have sitting around here in my office and my craft room, whatever way you want to call it. You know, to hold some stuff up for me. So does it have to be perfect? No, it does not. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put you on a fast forward while I get the other rows done. Maybe do a little cleanup on it. I think that gold looks good. And when we get ready to work on the cross, I will stop the fast forward and then hopefully we'll see that. So hang on. so we got everything done. I did take the markers, and then I mixed up some UV resin and put some of the Marabou sparkle in there, the rainbow, and I think that came out really well. That's the blue one. This is the red one. So then I took some of the leftover UV resin that I had, and I decided to go ahead and finish the little pottery girl with the UV resin. So hopefully that'll smooth it out, and maybe I can make a mold. For the cross, this was the original, and this is from the mold I made. I colored everything in with a marker, and then took the UV resin I'd mixed up with the Marabou sparkle, which was a rainbow, and topped it, and then cured it. So that's that. And then I had some leftover UV resin, and I added in some glitter paste in there with the leftover UV resin with the Marabou sparkle rainbow in there. And let's see what it looks like. This is the rose, this one right here, that I had made out of that new flower mold. Nope, I'm sorry, I lied. It's a different one. But you can see it does come out well. It's pretty. I'm not going to do anything with this one just because this video is probably running a little long. But I will get photos of the final product, and I will see you then. So please like, share, comment, subscribe, and thank you to all of my new subscribers. I'm so glad you stopped in and joined us, and I hope everyone had a happy new year, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.